Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, and welcome to this beautiful match against Luffy versus darindrise. I'm your host, Chanigan, and with me in the booth is Devious. How are you doing tonight, Devious?
I am so excited for this. We have tonight a great run between LuffyDV and darindrise. Two people in the community I have really gotten to know over the last couple years. Darren was actually one of my very first races, and LuffyDV actually lives about an hour away from me. So we've gotten a chance to catch up. So I'm super excited to watch these two guys race. We were talking just before the presentation started that this is Pod L, and Pod L has, in addition to Luffy and darindrise, Rojo and Crab Cake. So it's a pretty hefty pod, if you ask me. Luffy is 1-0 right now, and darindrise is 0-1. So this could be a big match for darindrise if he's trying to make sure he doesn't go 0-2. And Luffy is looking for that much-coveted second win.
Yeah,
and Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say, and they're off.
Looks like we have early fast at level 1 for those black mages. You'll notice that we don't have any red mage or white mage today, and that is because we have a draft that happened. And according to my notes, which Rojo is taking notes for us, we had a 6-draft pool with a black belt, a black mage, 2 fighters, a black mage, and a red mage. And the choice in the draft is Darren is a fighter, Luffy chose black belt, black mage, and then Darren chose black mage.
Yeah, this is a pretty good party. I mean, you got your, in case you want to go fighter comp, you got a fighter and black mages. If you want to go to black belt side, like just punch hard, you got your black belt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Honestly, this has been, I think personally, one of the biggest questions, or one of the biggest things I wrestle with as a, did they do flip dungeon?
Yes, they did. It's a flag that they asked to have, so we have flip dungeon and a party draft. Other than that, it's pretty vanilla. And we got a loose ship in Temple of Fiend.
Wow. Yeah, loose ship is, I mean, that's really big for 2 reasons. Not just because we have 2 loose items in the seed, and that's one of our 2 loose, but also because we have a new flag this tournament, which is the speedboat flag. Which means that the boat is actually traveling at the same speed as the airship. So whereas you used to have to change how you drove the boat because it travels slower than the airship, with the boat being the exact same speed, you can actually make some bigger decisions when it comes to sea travel, and take some risks that you wouldn't normally take without that speedboat flag turned on.
Yeah, the speedboat is one of the biggest, I would say one of the best addition to the randomizer in the last few months. I think it's
absolutely
about 8 months, something like that.
Jeez, I think the flag was created after the last spring tournament.
Yeah, I think too.
I want to say it was Fall League was the first time that we saw it. But you'd have to go back and check all of the updates. Actually, after spring tournament last year, I just stopped checking updates because we were getting new flags like every other week. Turning back to what's going on right now, darindrise has decided to go against Garland just using Punchy Fist, whereas Luffy decided to nope out, head over to Provoca first, where he finds Fire 2. And he did look at that silver -2 sword over in Canaria, not really seeing anything different here in Provoca. Yep, silver -1 on that fighter. So, bottom line, Luffy's going to have a much faster Garland fight than darindrise has.
Yeah, having that, just that Fire 2 is going to be big. So, darindrise got the TNT and the cube. TNT, good, good find for the beginning. You can just go see it real quick. The dwarves.
So question for you, because like we got that TNT. You've got TNT. Oh, you know what? We don't have canoe. All of a sudden I thought we had canoe. But we haven't seen what Bicky has yet. I'm kind of curious on what Bicky has. And then if it is the canoe, then I'll ask my canoe-related question.
But yeah, getting the TNT this early, I would definitely go to Dwarf Cave, just turning that TNT in, and if it's like Chime or something and not needed right now, I would just reset out, go back to Corneria, and go to Bicky directly.
Yeah.
Just saving that. Oh, there's our second lose.
Wow!
Alright.
Wow!
This is, this is gonna be a quick one.
Yeah, and 36k gold sitting in that other chest.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a speed seed.
Yep. This is gonna be a quick one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Luffy pretty well. I think he'll go with the black belt. He loves the black belt. So I think he's gonna, once he finds that second lose, he's gonna just kill off the fighter and just grind his black belt as soon as possible. And with that plus 15 hit percent, that black belt is gonna be online really quick.
Yeah. Shout out to darindrise for doing Hooray Dwarf twice. Hooray, hooray for both of those boxes that were in Dwarf Cave. I'm looking at, not only does our black belt have plus 15 hit percent, our fighter has plus 15 strength and plus 10 hit percent.
Yeah.
So, there's it. Hey, canoe question! I can ask my canoe question. Alright. So, you know what? It doesn't really matter because he hasn't taken out Garland, so he's probably going to go back to Temple of Fiends anyway. But whenever I have the canoe and I get a TNT or an adamant, I always have that decision of, do I do Ice Cave Volcano first, or do I go over and do I turn in that adamant or TNT first? It's a little moot here, but that's what I was thinking about.
Without Warp, I think Ice Cave is not going to be my priority. Like going to, oh my god, and the key.
She's an early key.
Alright. This seed. But yeah, Ice Cave is not going to be my priority because Ice Cave is very dangerous. You better go into Marsh, do the early TNT and Marsh Cave checks.
Well, and the fact that, I mean, again, everything that we've gotten so far really changes what we're looking at in terms of key items. We've already seen the Saber Bonk as one of the loose key items, which automatically means that one of our potentially 3 or 4 items that are completely unnecessary are already out of the pool, which means that something like that Marsh Cave dive or that Ice Cave dive are more than likely going to have some important key item.
Yes.
The only other ones that we would be kind of worried about would be the ruby, the tail, and I'm blanking.
Right now, they only have the Marsh Cave and Ice Cave since they already found both loose. So Canal has to be in one of those two. Or something that leads to Canal. And
well, it could be Floater too.
Oh,
because because that's one of the other things that we've had recently is there has been an adjustment to the logic of how the randomizer actually functions in terms of whether or not the Canal can be placed outside of the Inner Sea. So for people looking at Spring Tournament logic, just because you have one more key item in the Inner Sea, if you don't have Canal, that doesn't automatically mean that Canal is that extra loose, which you used to be able to do that logic in previous. And Luffy, please go back and check those 2 boxes, buddy. Please go back and check those 2 boxes.
He's probably gonna check them once you get out.
I'm hoping so. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Okay.
All
Nope.
right.
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay, good.
Just a wow face on Luffy's cam. I love when our runners have their webcams on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. God. I did notice Ale jumping in a little bit late and being like, "Yo, what happened?" So in what are we at? 9 minutes here. 9 minutes into the seed, we've already found both of our loose items. We found a ship in Temple of Fiends, and we found that saber bonk in the Dwarf Cave. We've already found the TNT from Vicky. We found the crystal from that TNT turn. The TNT from the King. Crystal from that TNT turn-in. Cube also came from the King or Sarah. So we're moving along, and it looks like we've got Marsh Cave, we've got the Sages, and we've got Ice Cave from places for us to choose.
Yeah, I think going either Marsh Cave or Sages right now. Like,
yeah,
I'm not going with the magic that they currently have. I'm not going Ice Cave. It's way too dangerous.
Yeah. Well.
Oh.
Level 1 white had fade at level 2, but we don't really have white magic anyway. Level 2 black had fire 2. So like, yeah, you could potentially get something, but I doubt it.
Yeah, what slot was fade?
Fade was slot 2, so
Slot
it's
2,
not going to be learnable on
yeah.
promo.
Not going to be learnable.
Though, a pro ring plus 4.
Gold plus 2.
And dragon armor? Well, that's
that fighter is going to be pretty well equipped.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we have, it's interesting watching Darindrise go through this inner sea versus Luffy go through the inner sea, because you can tell that Darren's checking boxes to check boxes, whereas Luffy was checking boxes to look for a loose item. Now that Luffy's gotten his key, he's gotten his, all of his equipment, I don't, if he's gonna go black belt like you're thinking, I think we already have fast at level 1.
Yep.
Luffy's probably not gonna open much of anything else for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think he's gonna check some shop items like the gold rings, pro rings, and that's about it. I doubt he'll try to dig for a ribbon at that point. You're just gonna find your grind, sit on it for 10 minutes, and be online and just be done with that seed.
I really like Luffy checking the white magic though. We got Nuke at level 4, which is nice. But at white magic level 3, we had something. We had wall at slot 1. So what that does for Luffy is that takes out the question of the ribbon. Instead of feeling like you have to get the ribbon, what you really just need is you have to have the fighter promoted with spell charges to cast that wall. Granted, it's not the best strategy if you're looking for that black belt grind, due to how the MDEF works with the black belt, which we'll probably talk about later if it becomes necessary. But that's definitely a good piece of information for him to have.
Alright, so Luffy's going Marsh Cave. He's doing, I think, not the better play, but the safest play. Like I said, Ice Cave is going to be pretty hard with these levels. I think he only has a few, maybe one charge of nuke, or maybe not even one.
Yeah, well, he does have that Fire 2 at level 2, which, I mean, like, Marsh is essentially the baby Ice Cave. Both of them have lots of different enemies, and both of them kind of stink. So, if he can get through Marsh, that's a nice little prep to see if he can potentially survive something in Ice Cave.
Yeah. If Marsh ends up with, let's say, Chime or Ruby or Axial or something like that, that's not needed right now. He only has these Sages or Ice Cave, and it can get ugly pretty quick.
Well, and they're like right next to each other. And you know, even with this too, you know, he can run over, grab whatever the sage item is, and in doing this and going through the river system, he'll have at least a couple nuke charges. And all you need to take down Carry 1 is a couple nuke charges and enough HP to survive an Ice 2 or something.
Yeah, and I think both players had they found the hold stick, so that could be something used against Carry if needed.
Yeah, yeah, lots of good opportunities. It seems like we're starting to converge a little bit. The difference that we're seeing right now is that Luffy has less armor, less weaponry, less gold, but he hasn't opened any boxes, so he's moving faster. Whereas darindrise has been opening boxes to try to get that loot, get that gold, get that armor, get those weapons. Ooh, and a ribbon.
Ribbon. -1, but still a ribbon.
Yeah, ribbon's a ribbon. That Procate -3 is still a Procate. It'll do something. Man, this is really going to come down to Black Belt Fighter.
Yep. Ooh, mud goals, not the encounter you want to see in Marsh Cave.
No, not early like this.
Oxyale. Oh, all right. So it's either ice or sages.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a nice pickup. Heal 2 shirt. Which brings us to another flag. If you have used the Heal 2 shirt in the past, you've probably decided it wasn't such a good idea because it's a very small amount of HP. But in this tournament, we actually have the increased Cure flag on, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, which means that Heal 2 shirt is actually going to give you some health back, as opposed to just kind of like 10 HP. So that could actually end up being something critical towards the end of the game, but we'll have to see how everything plays out. Oh, I did just notice on our blur things that Rojo has put up for us that there are no bracelets for that Black Mage. So that means that our Black Mage is going to be very low defense for the majority of this game, and you can't really be relying on that Black Mage like you normally would in a typical Topher dive. So I don't know if I don't know if you can sit back and rely on getting those fast casts out. And Luffy is re-diving. I was looking at Darren's screen, and it looks like I guess he got pulled off. Scorpions. Yeah, that's not. Oh, did Darren just? Okay, he moved it. I thought he dropped that Heal 2 shirt. So we'll see if darindrise ends up getting that same Scorpion draw, but darindrise is now officially up in the lead. And Luffy is now having to backtrack a little bit to try to regain that Oxyale and make it out before getting hit by those lobsters again.
All right, sorry, I had to go check something. What Luffy lost? Died
yeah, it looks
to
like
what?
Yeah, it looks like he lost his grind to some scorpions. I was looking over at darindrise's screen, and Luffy was walking back in. So we'll see if Darren picks up that same encounter. I assume he will, since both of them are pretty steady on encounter minute. Yeah, until you find rapes with Death Touch and Nuke. Yeah, we've all been there. So much fun.
Oh yes. Alright, so Luffy's getting his Oxyale back. And darindrise is done.
Yeah, I haven't... Why is he fighting these? There must be something that they have. Flow 2. Yeah. Well, if they're casting slow too, then they have to have a spell and a skill list. So whatever that first skill list or whatever's behind that slow 2. Oh, Thunder. Thank you, Chadbird. Yeah. Yeah.
That would do some damage.
Yep, and Rojo makes the great point that it's much safer to just throw out that fire 2 and kill him than to chance missing a run.
Try to run, yeah.
Alright, so it looks like Darren is officially picked up the lead, even with picking up all of those extra boxes. That one wipe in Marsh Cave is really going to set Luffy back.
That wipe was costly for Luffy.
Mm-hmm. Now, at the same time, I can see, Darren going and checking a bit more of Volcano, just because, we haven't found that, key weapon and those key pieces of armor. But I could see Luffy going in, checking that first trap tile, and then
just
moving down the rest.
Yeah. Ooh, adamant.
Well, right. I would say it's a little pricey, but this seed has been a bit generous.
Yeah, it's been giving so much.
Yeah, not checking the level 6 white magic.
Bracken, Temper. Alright.
Yeah, I think we saw Bane a little bit earlier, so if you're looking for those, Bane was at level 4, but it shared a spot with Nuke. So, I mean, with these stats, it's probably going to be faster to just damage Tia instead of trying to throw the Bane strats out.
And looks like we're going back to the starting area.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if darindrise is gonna go Ice Cave or just go directly to Crown and Dwarf Cave.
Yeah.
It's 2 quick checks.
Yeah. So, Dark Twinge raiding with a party of 22. Thank you for the raid here on FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. Or the Twitch channel. Jeez. We are, just to recap, looking at LuffyDV versus darindrise. We have already found our 2 loose items, so we are really in just checking incentive locations. We've already found the Saber Gauntlet, which is one of our unnecessary key items. So it's a much higher likelihood that we're going to be seeing almost every one of our dungeons here. Adamant here is in the shop. It looks like Luffy and darindrise have both had enough money to pick those up. And we're gonna
yes, Gold Pirates. It was a draft.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, DVS.
No, you're good. I saw that from Goats as well. There was a pool of 6, and then they did a draft outside of that pool of 6. So there was actually no white mages in the pool, in case you're wondering. There was a red mage, but neither of our runners decided to take it.
Yeah, there was a black mage, one black belt, 2 black mages, 2 fighters, and 1 red mage. And darindrise picked fighter first, then Luffy picked black belt and black mages. Then darindrise picked black mage.
So I think you were talking about this earlier, getting back to what's going on right now. In terms of, do you go kill carry and check ice, or do you go turn in your crown and your adamant?
Floater. Flirt at Astos. Oh.
Yeah. Well, correct decision made, apparently.
Yeah.
Because I think you're right. Once you have those 2 required loose versus 1 required loose, the probability of getting floater is just so much higher.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of ice. Not gonna lie, most of the time, if I can, I'm gonna skip it.
Mm-hmm. Taking a quick note, I will just in case. I honestly, the thing that's been getting me this year is Sea Shrine. There's been a lot of loose items in Sea Shrines. There's a lot more times that you're coming out of the inner sea. You've got that Oxyale, and you have a lot of decisions ahead of you. Getting that early waterfall check, and then heading into to ice has become a more popular play, I think.
Yeah,
but
without
team Never Ice is still very strong.
Yeah, and without warp, it's not a play I would make.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah. Unless you're looking for that risky play that might actually make the difference and put you ahead. Though, and like you said, at this case, we have that floater. Now it's just a matter of figuring out, or just getting over to the desert. Looks like Luffy decided to turn in the...
Of course, it's a canal.
Yeah, of course, it's the canal. Just, that's the game, just having a little laugh with you. Dust Plume asking 3 progression duds in the pool now. There are, 3 or 4 total, so 2 or 3 left. And the reason why I say 2 or 3, 3 or 4 is whether or not you value the tail.
Technically, Ruby isn't required now.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's a dud item, and like you were about to say, tail is not it might not be something that you want to.
Well, and then there's Ruse Stick, which is the other one.
Yeah.
So Ruby, definitely not for either of our runners. Tail, it looks like Darren's going to really want it, and it looks like Luffy isn't. And then you've got your Ruse Stick, which I would argue, especially since our black mages can't wear bracelets, then it's probably going to be a safe pick no matter what. And
so
yeah,
Darindrise going directly to Volcano instead of going to Sarda. Ooh, Agma tile. Okay, this is pretty good. If they die to 1 Quad X,
yeah,
this is going to be a good grind.
Yeah, though the question is, because he already got a swing in before that one went off.
Oh,
well, speaking.
So I was about to say Sarda with the Ruse Stick.
Yeah. Well, there answers the Ruse Stick question.
Yep.
So now it's just that loose Ruby. Luffy checking the flipped horizontally Earth tiles. Wizard, and we'll see what's behind it. But that Agama tile is enticing for sure.
And Giants, yep.
He is going to check the chest box to see if that has a better grind. if he can get there.
Flip dungeon.
Yeah, that flip dungeon plays with your head.
Yeah.
Is Darren going?
I think he's grinding his black belt.
Yeah. Well, it looks like he's leaving his armor on that fighter, so I think he's going through that moment.
He might be going to buy a gold ring in Coneria, because they were for what, 9.8k, something like that. So he might be going to Coneria to buy one to put it on his black belt. Ooh, stone poison.
I mean, that actually could be the best news that he's seen. Oh, but it's unrunnable. That's bad news. Well, if he can get out of this, okay. Okay, so let me throw this as a question. You're darindrise. You see that Agma tile. You've been spending time trying to get items, loot, gear for that fighter. You've been thinking fighter this entire round. You find the black belt tile on a safe grind. Do you abandon for the black belt grind, or do you stick with your fighter strat?
I'm switching to black belt. Since you still don't have a good weapon, armor is meh right now because the dragon armor was -2. Black belt is way safer, and it's gonna pay off at the end against the Fiends. So yeah, I think going black belt right now. It's only been 28-29 minutes. So yeah, black belt all the way.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think at this point the only thing that would be going through my mind would be is there a better grind out there? But it looks like these Agamas only have about 200 hit points, which is
and we
really
haven't
nothing.
seen anything bad on them, like no nasty spell or nothing.
Yeah, I think I don't know what our encounter or how many steps we had off the hard reset. I mean, the only thing that would really be better than this, based on location, is the T-Rex grind.
Yeah.
But if we don't have an encounter right off the hard reset, there's little chance this is going to be a worse grind.
I know Luffy's a fan of the blue stake grind. He might go check the encounters just in case. If I remember correctly, the first encounter is fairly quickly, like maybe 20 steps or so.
Yeah. It looks something like that from Luffy's screen. I was going to say, the only question then, if they both find this Agama tile, then the question becomes, how efficiently can you do your grind? And that's one of the benefits of having Volcano, this first grind tile. As you notice, what Darren was doing was walking on top of the lava to drop 1 hit point per step for all of his party members, which means that now his black mages that he's trying to down are going to get killed in 1 hit, as opposed to having to wait 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds. So a very good play by Darren.
Yeah. He might need to get a few more levels on his black belt before downing his fighter though. Still don't know if the black belt can take on solo the Agama.
Yeah. The fighter can, apparently.
Yeah, with that ice sword, fighter is a no-brainer.
Now, this is something I keep meaning to look up. Ooh, a red D tile. Sorry, I've been distracted by the red D tile, which has... can't really tell how much shape points it has. It looks like it had a couple hundred hit points, which is not ideal.
But with the plus 15% on the black belt, that black belt's gonna be... It's already online. It already has 6 hits at level 18, so...
Well, one of the things I'm trying to remember is the hit percent per level on the black belt. Is it 3% or 4%?
Oh. I don't know.
Okay. Because, like, 3%?
3%, okay.
I thought it was 3% for fighter and black belt, and then like 2% for red mage and thief, but I couldn't remember. I think thief got picked up though. So the reason that I'm asking is if it's 3% per level and the black belt has plus 15 hit percent, that means essentially what you're doing is you're cutting 5 levels off of your threshold. So 32 is the first big threshold we think about, which is going to get you up to 8 hits. So instead of being at 32, that's now at 27. Instead of looking at level 42 for your 10th hit, you're only looking at 37. So, and you can get the infamous
12
hit.
Yep.
Yeah. Legend has it that there is a 12 hit.
That would be nice to see. I haven't seen a 12-hit black belt in a while. Ooh, Luffy finding a second ribbon in Ice Cave. And
a second ribbon. I was gonna say a second ribbon, an opal Cheerio, and a ice armor +3. So Luffy finding all of the things that Darren finding the thing that Luffy wants, and we're gonna have to see where all of this is gonna go for Luffy. Darren's doubling down on that black belt grind, which we've agreed is the right place to go for him. I'm worried about Luffy now. Where's he gonna go?
Yep. It all depends on the size ice plate. If it's not required, opal +4, opal shield +4. That's really good. But yeah, depending on what's in ice. Quad-X stick. This is the black belting he needs.
Oh,
alright, so he needs to go to Volcano now.
Well, and he just got the chime.
Alright, so Ice Cave is required. So if darindrise doesn't find this, doesn't go. No, he won't. No, never mind. I said nothing. I was about to say,
yeah.
If he doesn't get this Quad-X stick, but this grind's gonna be done anyway.
Yeah. Well, okay. So what that means is that with that Quad-X stick, we know that these Agamas have under 300 hit points. You can see that Darren's getting 4,000 experience per Agama, but he needed to get to level 18 or so before that black belt could fight on his own. Luffy's black belt can fight on his own at level, so that means that he's going to be able to drop those other party members faster and get the beginning of the grind going faster. So that's Luffy's benefit if he can get to that. If he can get to that Agama.
He might check. He's next to Volcano, so I think it's a smart play to go check the grind tiles.
I don't disagree, but I'm thinking Luffy's gonna respect Darren. I'm wondering if he's gonna go up and make the play north. Simply because the Volcano is the safe play. It's the play that someone who's running a fighter party is gonna play to get all of the armor. Guy is available. You have Nuke at level 4. You've got Temper at level 3.
Level 6.
If Luffy's looking...
Temper was level 6.
Oh, sorry, at level 6. Yep. If Luffy's looking to make a play, then he's gonna go Sky.
Oh, he's going Volcano.
Okay.
Oh, this is perfect.
Yeah, and now it's going to be a couple minutes of grinding, and we'll see how this goes. Come on, Luffy. Let's get a reaction from you, buddy.
Hey, there we go. He knows now.
Exactly.
So he's gonna down his other characters with the Quad-X stick on his black belt and just...
Oh, yeah.
Yep, there we go.
Yep. Yeah, he's not...
No?
What? What are you doing?
Interesting. He's not taking the Agma grind.
I'm very confused. You know what? I think...
Yeah, kill, carry, dead, grind. Yep.
Why would you kill, carry, then grind? Well, it wouldn't give an extra 5% because, it's not a key item. Unless, I actually don't know if orbs count as key items.
No, it's per key items, so it shouldn't count.
Yeah.
And 5% is not that big.
Yeah.
Oh, Invis 2 defense sword. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm so confused now because Luffy was running so strong on this black belt concept. Darindrise running very hard on a fighter concept, and it looks like they just switch pivoted. That Luffy just pivoted to fighter based on what he's seen, all the armor he's gotten. Darren is now pivoted to black belt just based on that Agama.
This is a This is very unusual for from Luffy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
He's not looking at the grind tiles.
He did choose the correct direction, I believe.
Yep.
Apparently, you're looking for the side of the staircase
Yep.
that has more opening to it.
Correct.
So
Or the
I believe correct.
the where the staircase points.
Mm.
That's my cue.
So Darren, going back, actually is picking up those 2 gold plus 2 bracelets that you were talking about. Luffy doing some switching, taking out Carry. Based on what Luffy's done, we'd probably expect him to head up to Sky after this. Probably.
Probably, yeah. Either that, or yeah, it's either that or ordeals or waterfall or something like that.
Yeah.
Oof, and Carry goes down. Yeah, not an issue with the that ice sword.
Yeah. Man, Luffy's already at level 16. That's a really high level for the game.
There we go. He's unequipping everything. All right, he's doing the grind
Okay.
and saving. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So he's gonna. Okay. Yeah. He's using these steps here. So Luffy's now starting his grind. He's already killed Carry. Darren is going to Ice Cave, which Luffy already did, but Luffy full cleared, or quasi full cleared. So Darren is not going to be spending as much time in Ice Cave. We'll have to figure out. It really comes down to how long is Luffy going to take this grind, and how efficiently can he do this grind. Okay.
Yeah, this is really close. For real.
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah. Words.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Adam Root in chat ADR mentioning, kill Carry with the party, so no need to come back to Volcano later and risk doing it solo. It's not, I mean...
Luffy using the heal staff. Whoops.
The wrong item magic, unfortunately. Why does he still have... He's moving it over
he's
so he
moving,
doesn't accidentally...
Yeah, he's moving the, a sword, okay. Just so it's quicker to menu.
He still has all that armor on that fighter, though. Is he trying to keep the fighter up?
No, he unequipped the armor earlier, before going into Volcano.
Okay, cool. I know that darindrise stopped early on his grind. I didn't catch how early. I know he was going mid-20s last time I saw him.
Yeah, he's somewhere near 28, 29. I think he has his 8 hits, and he stopped there.
Okay, so he got the 8 and then just decided that's enough. I'm curious. My personal feeling is that if I have this black belt with plus 15 hit, I need to take advantage of the plus 15 hit. Unless I have, there was one seed I had earlier that had a max of plus 4 in Topher, and with that seed, I only went to 6 hits with the black belt, but that's because, you had 2 incredibly powerful fighters. With this, I feel like, go to 37, get your 10 hits, get your exponential increase, because not only are you getting more hits, you're also getting more damage per hit.
Yeah, that's what I would do too. Just you don't have to rely on the fast black mages in case Kraken to decides to punch you, or you saw a nuclear or nuke that rolls really hard. So yeah, just go safe and go to 37 to get your 10 hits, or hey, go to 50 for the 12 hits.
Yeah, exactly. Though I will say going back to the blur things, that those black mages can't equip any bracelets. So, that Opal Cheerio, it's not going to go on anyone.
Yeah.
That if we happen to find the tail, that knight's going to get the dragon armor. No one's going to get the Opal split. And I think like you said, if Kraken decides to throw something out and take out the black mages, you're in huge trouble.
Yeah, but again, I don't think if like bull players are using the black belt as a win condition, I don't think you need to promote. So even if they find the tail, I doubt it that that they will promote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cheerio was neutral. The Opal Cheerio. Gold Cheerio was +3, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I feel like the other thing that you could do is, since you know that your black belt, since you know you're going to get your hits early, you could plan on doing the Opal Cheerio with a ribbon on your black belt, and then cut your levels a little earlier to make sure you still get that defense while still getting the attack, instead of going up to the mid-40s. But, yeah, again, I think the fact that every level you get, you're gonna get more damage out of those punches does also make a difference.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna see what Sky has. Oh, not flipped.
That awkward moment when you assume everything is flipped, but it's actually not.
And it's the rod. Alright.
Yeah, rod. It looks like we haven't seen the slab or the bottle yet, which are our two fetch quest items. And the only things we have left are ordeals and the waterfall.
Yep.
And buying the rod.
Yeah, rod.
Darren's still doing greed checks here. I think you got to be thinking he's probably envisioning a two-man going through Topher, trying to do fighter and black belt to cut down the time on that grind.
Yeah.
Whereas Luffy's at level 30 right now. He's probably just going to end up planning for the solo dive.
Yeah.
And if you want to see a war mech, get your robots in chat, because we have the Bridge of Destiny over here on Darren's side. 2 fighters, which are juicy amounts of experience. That sleep doesn't help. But this is the place where you're going to end up seeing that war mech. And war mech, if you didn't know, has the highest experience in the game. And with his levels right now, easily take out war mech.
Yeah, if you can get a fast out, that Warmech is going down.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, no Warmech today for darindrise.
Surprisingly, you'll actually see a lot of people try to grind for a Warmech in this kind of situation.
Yeah.
Just to get those last couple levels.
I did that. I think it was an async, just a random race I did last week, where I got two Warmechs back to back. So I'm like, yep, got my my black belt to level 50.
Ooh, Tia coming out with Thunder though, really taking a chunk. This is where you're seeing the effects of. Oh, did he
I think he
with the black belt?
Menu, yeah, must have been a mismenu.
And Blizzard. So Tia not rolling overnight. 13 hits for only 255 damage. Going with Swing, 2 hits for 100. Not putting 13 hits, only doing 200 damage.
Very high absorb. And Blaze. Ooh,
Blaze.
This is bad. We need to get this Tia down really quickly.
Yeah. We've got to be getting close to that 1,000 hit point vanilla threshold. The heal pot strats, I think they're a good move, considering where we were at.
Alright.
200 hit point See, keep this in mind, folks. When Luffy gets to that Tia fight, think about how much time and how close that Tia fight was for Darren, and then we're going to compare that to where Luffy's at. Luffy's about to get to level 37, which should be the threshold for his 10th hit. He just did 1,000 damage to that Agama. Darren stopped his level grind at 27-28, and that's part of why you saw 13 hits but only 255 damage.
Alright, I think that's level 37, yep. And he stops, yep. So
Yep.
yeah, again, getting his 10 hit and he's out.
Yep. He already did the math. He doesn't need to get that test hit out. He's gonna go, and everybody else is gonna run away from him. They know how powerful that guy is.
Yeah.
And, I mean, at this point, it's off to the races.
Yeah. You just need to find the loot and go.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say the one thing that we missed is that Luffy did fight Carry. So Luffy has his fire orb lit. Darren did not. So they're still at 1 orb apiece. However, Luffy ended up doing a dungeon in one dive that Darren had to do in. Not going to be a huge time sink because the volcano is one of the fastest dungeons in the game, but you could arguably say that Sky is also a relatively quick dungeon, especially in those top floors.
Yeah. Alright, so Luffy entering Sky. So yeah, I think he's gonna go Sky, then Water, Sea Temple, then Earth Cave.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the optimal, if I can say that, play.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you gain anything by not.
Well, by going Earth, you guaranteed a key item. After that's the rod tile, rod plate. So that, if it's loot, then darindrise is, I think, in the lead.
Yeah, I think where Luffy's at, I agree. I think that going over to, well, because you're gonna have to do. Yeah, I think you'll see Luffy go to sea. Well, there's the loot over on Darren's side.
Yep. Oh boy. So yeah, and with that, darindrise is in go mode.
That he is. So he's not gonna have to do that waterfall check. He'll be going straight through, and it's gonna be a matter of, did Darren's decision to cut his grind a little bit short, is that gonna pay out for this faster trip through the game?
Yeah, exactly. That may be what decides this race. Just the few minutes that Luffy took just to finish his grind.
Yeah, well, so Luffy took those extra minutes to finish the grind, and he took the extra minutes in that Deafen Marsh, and he took some extra minutes in really full clearing ice. But then again, I think Darren checked a number of those tiles. I don't know if he checked the 6 boxes.
No, I don't think he checked them, so he missed a ribbon and the opal chariot.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, this is going to end up being a tough question. It'll be interesting to see if those black mages come into play, because Darren's going to have to be relying on those black mages with where his levels are at, but Luffy, totally optional.
Yeah.
So Darren making the play over to the Sea Shrine to get his second to last orb. After this, he'll be having to run back over to the Gurgu volcano to pick up his fire orb from Carry. Luffy is about to light orb number 2, taking out this Tia, and let's see how much faster this fight goes. Fast coming out on that black belt. One punch for 610 damage. A swing from the axe for 104, so we're already at 700 hit points. Swing, nuke. Well, swing, quad X, nuke. So that's over 1,000, and there's Tia.
Yeah, this is way quicker. If Temple of Fiend, if any Fiends has a bit of HP, or has a lot of absorb or evade, this might go on Luffy's. This might be good for Luffy.
Well, even just like the number of turns possible.
Yeah.
Like you think through someone like, Carry 2. As much as we fear Kraken 2, Carry 2 always kind of stops your heart a little bit.
Yeah.
Because she can throw out a nuke. She can punch really hard. So if you end up spending 2 rounds versus Carry 2, you could end up taking out 1 or 2 Light Warriors in those 2 rounds, and then you're going to Kraken 1 or 2 Light Warriors short versus taking out Carry in 1 round. Maybe you lose 1 Light Warrior, but you're not going to lose 2. You know you're not going to lose 2.
Luffy's making the right play going to Earthgate first, so he's going to find his loot, and he's going to be in go mode too.
Yeah. I think this is the right play. I know I said he would go to C first, but this is absolutely the right play because
just that key item.
Yeah.
That guaranteed key item. Anyway, you still need to do Earth Cave anyway, so.
Yeah.
Even if it takes
key item.
Yeah, even if it takes 10 more seconds or so, navigating to Earth Cave, it's way less time than diving, let's say, waterfall or something.
So no waterfall, no ordeal.
Yeah.
That's two of our 3 optional dungeons are not going to be in use today, which 56 minutes in, and Blaze coming out of those sea trolls that almost took out one of one of Darren's black mages. If he's still checking the little Earth validation chest, you got to.
Yep.
It's natural reaction. You can't not do that.
I always check it. You never know. Masa might be there.
Yeah. I mean, Masa might be everywhere. I don't know. It's just like I remember, like, especially early training and playing this game, like having to physically stop yourself from opening boxes. Yeah, I when I first started off, I was playing a lot with Dengwu and Caleb, and there were times where I was just like, how do I get faster? And one of the
Bane working out on Kraken.
I love the fist pump. I love the fist pump from Darren on that one.
This is perfect.
But I remember in those conversations asking, like, how can you cut minutes off of your time? And their encouragement was, do a game without opening any box.
Oh yeah, opening boxes is pretty big trap.
Rojo, who needs 10 hits when you have Bane luck?
Yep, exactly.
Truth. Dang champ. Truth. So, if you are just joining us, or just to give you a quick recap, this has been a blistering seed. In the first 5 minutes of the game, actually within the first 10 minutes, confidently, we had both of our loose items with both of our runners, and we were just blistering through the seed. Everything in the inner sea was required. once we got to the outer sea, we already had essentially all of the information we needed to get into go mode. Both of our runners decided to take the Agama trap tile in Volcano in order to do their black belt grind. The only difference is that Luffy took his grind all the way up to 37, whereas Darren decided to stop at 27. Luffy did a little bit of extra traveling before figuring out where that Agama tile was, whereas Darren essentially jumped into it right as soon as he saw it. And now what we're seeing Luffy picking up Cake. Dang would be very happy with that. And Darren heading off to take out Carrie, Luffy going up to Sea Shrine. Based on their positioning, Darren's gonna make it into Topher probably
maybe a minute or two.
Minute and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that before Luffy's gonna be able to. That being said, Luffy is going to get through fast. Period.
Yeah. Well, maybe not Kraken because of, Bane luck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if Darren Bane's Kraken down in Topher, then we'll know some shady deal is going on in the background between him and Kraken there. Luffy also doing the double take in thinking that Sea Shrine was flipped, and then swinging over to the left side there.
Alright, darindrise on Carrie.
And we'll see how fast this is gonna go. 7 hits for 200 on that black belt. 4 hits for 64 from the fighter. Nice little 1 damage by the black mage. 16 hits for 700. Carrie 1 is still on her feet after a fasted black belt punch. I think that's some nerves right there. Just like looking at darindrise's face, I think he's looking at that saying, that was not a strong enough punch.
Oh, I just noticed darindrise has a lock to bonk.
Yeah, he found that in... Actually, you know what? It was the chest that Luffy did not open.
Oh.
So, Darren only opened the bottom chest in that room. Luffy only opened the top chest in that room. The bottom chest, I believe, had that lock 2 bonk in it.
Ooh, okay, that... Because I don't think we've seen lock 2 in Black Magic. Oh no, it was level 3. Okay. So yeah, they might need it.
Mm-hmm.
And, but if either's runner's black mage goes down, darindrise still has this lock bonk.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, essentially 1 hour 2 minutes flat. Darren makes his way into, and we'll get to see how this first grind goes. Man, I feel you, darindrise. I was in your seat yesterday. There's nothing like getting into Topher with your stomach in a knot, wondering if you're going to be able to make it through this dive. Just looking over to see if Luffy already finished, and having to focus on just get through Topher, do what you need to do to get this done. And
I think Luffy's internet, Luffy's internet might have broke for a few seconds. It'll be back in a few.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so Darren getting to those first 3 floors here in Topher, getting those chimeras. One of the things that we're going to be watching for here is those 2 black mages. For Darren, they are going to be significantly more important to get those fast casts out. and Luffy getting through Kraken at 1.5 minutes past where Darren entered Topher. So it looks like Luffy's going to get into Topher around 104.30, which gives Darren a good 2.5 minute head start.
It all depends on that grind.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's really what it boils down to.
Yep.
If the grind was fast, if the grind is enough, Darren wins this.
Yep.
If the grind wasn't enough, then and Darren takes a rough death here in Topher, then that's gonna give Luffy the opportunity to come back and take this. Because I don't think it's possible for Luffy to not make it through Topher.
Alright. Luffy entering it at 104.30 seconds. So yeah, about a 2.5 lead.
Already using early fast cast on Lich. Given a lot of respect there.
Yep.
16 hits for 816 damage.
Speed bump goes down.
Which is really all Lich was this time.
Yep.
Does Luffy have a lot of... I think Luffy might have put a lot of armor.
Yeah, Luffy has his the opal bracelet. The opal block.
Yeah, so if you put that opal on... Oh gosh, Karen's already at carry too. 8 hits for about 660 fast. 3 fast being test.
Oh, no problem.
Right. Yeah, that free turn is all Darren needed.
Yep. Alright, Kraken floor.
Frost coming out from the Gershark.
Yeah, not too bad.
Well, again, the only reason it would be bad is if it ends up taking out one of these black mages.
Yep.
So I would be healing after every single one of these encounters just to...
Yeah, because of that. I was about to say the Blaze sea trolls.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes one black mage. Alright, one survives. That's good.
Okay. Heal pot. Lots of heal pot. Which I believe both of our runners did check to make sure that they had heal pots coming out.
Yeah, both of them bought a few heal pots.
And if you're just joining us a little bit later and didn't hear, black mages are not able to wear Furios, so that's why we're a little bit more.
That miss menu.
A miss menu.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, this is. Oh, Kraken's punching hard. Oh boy.
Yeah, there's no life cast. I think this is a hard reset. I don't think you can do.
Yep.
Yeah. That's.
Kraken 2 again. The great equalizer.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's Topher doing Topher things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that grind giving a 2.5 minute head start, and now
just
it's switched back the other direction.
Yep. Oh, this is so sad for darindrise.
Yeah, taking the risk. Unfortunately, that dive did not quite go for him, but that doesn't mean that he's completely out of this.
Yep.
We still have the same idea of those black mages are not going to have a ton of hit points. That black belt, as many hit points as he has, there are still things like a couple nuclears in the skill casting pool.
Yeah.
There's a couple nukes in the spell casting pool. That could make this go very, very differently for Luffy. Granted, if Luffy's able to get that fasted out and get those punches in turn order, he shouldn't have a problem. But then again, Topher can do Topher things.
Yep. Yeah, I'm liking that. Oh, Blaze low rolled on both of his black mages.
Yeah, and he threw out the preemptive nukes on both of those black mages. He's not taking it here.
Yeah.
And did Luffy find 2 ribbons or just 1? I don't remember.
He found 2.
Okay.
So
there
one's
was that.
on his black belt, and I think the others is on one of his black mages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Luffy prepping for his Kraken 2 fight. Darren just getting over to his Lich 2 fight, round 2. We'll see how Luffy's after this was the Hag Shark encounter.
He's back to back. Alright. Let's see what Kraken has. Alright, Fast goes out. Kraken punches the fighter, good thing. Oh, big hit buff by the black belt. Decent damage by the fighter, so fight, new Quad X. 198, Quad X comes out, and terminated. Alright,
yeah.
This was pretty much perfect.
Perfect
turn order for Luffy.
Yep. Well, and again, I think his decision, I don't know the stats of all of his equipment well enough, but as long as he's getting more absorbed than whatever his level count is at the moment, then whatever armor he has is better. So we got our Tier 2 fight coming on, Saber, and throwing out Fast, and a Lock 2, so trying to make sure that those hits actually land once that black belt gets... Oh, the black belt actually casts Saber. So he's really doubling down to make sure that he can take Tia out in this next round. Nuke Invis just to make sure that if Tia throws out that punch, that it's not going to take the black belt completely down. Luffy with the swing.
20 hits. 1400 damage, yep.
You did good, buddy. Go take a nap. You did good.
Oh boy, that's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. 20 hits for over 2,000 damage. The scaling here is only 150%, so 1,500 hits, or, no, Twitch math. It's like 1525 or something like that of max damage, but I can't math right now. Darren at his Kraken 2 fight Carry 2 fight round 2 as Luffy picks on Chaos. Carry 2 is down, Luffy drawing Chaos. It's really going to come down to whether or not Luffy is able to take out Chaos in this turn. Saber on that black belt, the swing, 3 hits, 6 damage, not really what you want to see, but that's okay. Zoe taking a hit from Chaos, so Chaos has to be pretty weak if that black belt is still standing. Invis 2,
poison
damage. Poison. First swing, 11 hits for 1100 damage. Weight swing, that's pretty much all you're going to need. 11 hits for another 1000 damage, this should do it. And 11 hits, 1270. LuffyDV taking down Chaos with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 11 minutes, 52 seconds. Let's get those GGs in chat for LuffyDV as Darren is picking up his Kraken 2 fight. We'll pull in Luffy as soon as Darren finishes up this Kraken 2 fight. 8 hits for 270, taking out that second black mage. Ruse on the black belt to make sure that black belt's going to still be standing. 500 damage on the fighter, on his knee. Another big hit to that black belt. I think he's feeling a little bit of that. Is this going to happen again? Swing, 6 hits for 330. Kraken, 2 for 154. They're just going punch by punch. 6 hits for 311. Getting turn order, 8 hits for 188. 3 for 409. And that is another wipe for darindrise. That is not... That's not going to feel good. Taking the next dive. And I believe that sound means that... Are we joined by Luffy?
Yep.
Hey guys.
Hey Luffy. GG's.
Thank you. I caught the last 10 minutes of that, obviously. It looks like Darren had a bit of a rough go of it in Temple Fiends, so... Oof.
Yeah, you took a longer grind, like you took your black belt to 37, darindrise stopped at 30, I think. So those few levels, I think, were what helped you getting this win.
Yeah,
and
with the
luck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, luck never hurts. I knew that with the what did the black belt at plus 15 hit, I knew it was gonna get its 10th hit like right around 37. So that was kind of always my target of where to stop. I was just debating when I was doing the agamas, like, do I stop at 34 and get the last few levels as I go, or do I just finish it here? And I just hear people in my ear like fizzle and everybody just finish your grind, take your grind, don't be stupid. And that's what I decided to do, and it looks like it worked out.
Yeah, that's the risk that darindrise took, and yeah, Kraken 2 just said no.
Yeah, he'll do that from time to time.
Yeah. But
this looks like it was pretty jetty. It looks like we both kind of routed this very similar.
Oh yeah, for real. You were holding hands pretty much the entire seed.
That's funny.
Yeah, the only different thing that you've done is doing ice early, where darindrise grinded in volcano first.
Okay, so he took the agama also?
Yep.
Yeah, they were really, really tiny.
Yeah, that quad X stick was pretty good.
So Luffy, I have a question for you. What was your strategy going in when you had fighter black belt double black mage? Because there was a lot of conversation in the early game and the mid about what you and Darren seemed to be planning and how you were changing your plans as you were going through the inner sea. So talk about that first 15 to 20 minutes.
So the level 1 magic was obviously garbage. So I decided that alright, let me try a little pivot action here. Let me find something to swing with some cash, and I got that silver sword. I'm like, alright, let me just go do the pirates. Like, if I can find a chain armor, the fighter will be able to do this, and then we'll worry about Garland when we see what level 2 magic has. And that's what we did, and it kind of worked out alright. And then the inner sea just kind of took me pretty much right where I wanted to go. The sea just seemed to really kind of fall in line of taking you in certain places. Like, doing ice a little earlier than Darren, I guess, it just seemed that was the next course of action. I wanted to avoid ordeals. I considered doing on-rack before Sky, because I knew the item was in Waterfall there, but I just thought, let me just do Sky, let me get the item out of here, and then I'll kind of have a better idea on if I got to do Waterfall or not. And then when it was the Rod and Sky, I'm like, okay, here we go. Let me go do Earth now. Let me see what's here. If it's the loot, that's all I need, and I can just go. And it was. And all I'm thinking is, either I god routed this or we both god routed this, and it's going to come down to who has the better levels, because this is just kind of too easy right now with the sea and things to do.
Yeah, you both routed this exactly the same. It's
funny.
I was saying that if you go for proximity check, you go into Sky, get Rod, you're like, alright, I still need to do Sea Temple, Sea Shrine. So you go to Sea Shrine, check Waterfall, and lose a few minutes going there. Then go to whatever Earth Cave or whatever the Waterfall had. You might lose a few more minutes. So that might have swung the how can I say it? The balance, if I can say that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I understand what you mean. Yeah. We kind of got a little silly with the party too. We had a 6-man party draft, and then we decided, hey, why don't we just draft from the party we're given from the the seed spitting out our 6. And I gave Darren first pick because I wanted the second and third pick to kind of see what he was going to do first. And when he took fighter, I knew I was going to counter it with black belt, black mage, and I really thought he was going to go red mage to kind of just even out the party. And he came back with a black mage, and I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. Okay, fun. and then it was either get the black belt off the ground or get something to get this fighter online and get going. And the Agama was there, and it wasn't the best experience. It was like 4,400 a pop, but it was just enough to, like, knowing that I wasn't taking it to 42, and just in like the mid to high 30s, like I was pretty comfortable doing it.
And while you were talking, darindrise took an unfortunate death against the sharks in the siege floor.
Yeah, I think he lost his two black mages pretty early on, and then it just kind of kept going from there. So taking another dive, taking another shot at it, getting that time differential points for seeding in the tournament, and we'll be keeping an eye on him as we go in. I had a question for Luffy, and I don't remember what it was. So, were you planning on doing, like, I'm going to do black belt strats, or I'm going to do fighter strats, or were you trying to figure out how it was going to go as you walked through the seed?
I was really thinking about, like, you know, what is the seed going to hand me, and I'll make a decision from there. The volcano checks after doing the trap tiles and ice and finding nothing there were kind of my last straw. If I didn't find something in volcano, I was just going to pivot off of the black belt, unless there was something in the desert. Like, I don't know if anybody checked the desert. Like, there was a pretty fast encounter off the hard reset, so all I'm thinking the whole time was, like, I'm eating these Agamas. Like, I wonder if you found steak or something up there, and let me just pray that the steak was too thick to really kind of go fast. And once I found the Agamas, I knew, like, all right, we're gonna black belt this. I got a harm 2 axe, which is fine to swing through the game if I really need it, but you know, it's black belt is really like my wheelhouse comfort zone for melee. So I knew that, like, once I got the option to take one, especially with the plus 15 hit, that it was gonna have to be something handed to me that was really uncomfortable in order to not take one.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. We were talking earlier, or I should say Chanigan was mentioning how much you favor the black belt in your play style. Mm-hmm. And it looked like as you were going through ice that there might have been like a little bit of a switch or a decision of, okay, like, do I stick to the fighter or do I go black belt? So it makes sense that, you know, once you saw that Agama, that was the moment where it was, okay, I have to make the decision now. What was the reasoning behind taking out Carrie before the grind as opposed to after the grind?
I thought, like, let me just go down with the full party. It's a little bit, you know, air quotes, safer if she decides to get, like, really cute, because, like, she can really be, like, no big deal. But I've seen her, you know, punch for 300-400 damage if she's feeling really cheeky. So I thought, like, if I just have even just a couple of meat shields up, the volcano will do the damage for me on my way back in, and I don't gotta worry about it. And if she kills a party member, you know, even better. So that was the plan. Let me finish carry it, let me take care of it, let me go in after, and that was kind of what I did.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, very smart play. Talk about that March. How are you feeling after?
Oh.
The Scorpions?
Yeah.
Not very good. I was having flashbacks to this morning's race with, you know, poor ADR running into the nuke Arsahag
yeah,
over and over and over, and I'm just thinking, like, all right, like, I saw them once in the encounter table, so let me try to keep things where I am, and I won't go to that extra box over there on the top right of Marsh in the basement, and maybe I don't run into them this time as I'm, you know, switching floors. And they were there, but this time I wasn't playing around, and I just figured I'd throw quad X's at them and try to get lucky, because if they wiped me again, I mean, you never like taking a wipe in general, but you really don't like taking a wipe in Marsh Cave after getting a necessary key item to finish on your way out, you know, more than once. So it was uncomfortable, but it was just enough. I had just enough to get through, which it was dicey for a minute, but it was good to get through.
So I have another question, unless
No, go for it.
All right. So, you're in Pod L.
Yes.
You've had 2 matches so far.
Yes.
Rojo and darindrise.
Mm-hmm.
1 more match left.
Yes.
You know who you're racing?
I do, yes. I have nothing but the most respect for crab cakes, like, ever. I've never actually raced her, so I'm both excited and extremely terrified, because I know that she just doesn't make mistakes. She has some of the best menuing, some of the best, control of her overworld character as she's walking that I think I've ever seen. And there's no wasted movement when she plays, and you really got to either A, be on your game, or B, more likely just get very lucky in order to beat her. So we'll see.
So, we'll swing back to you. I see Darren picking up his next Kraken 2 fight, and this has kind of been his hurdle for this whole game. So we'll make sure we take a look at it, and then we'll swing back to some more thoughts about that run. Taking a little bit more time to think through his strategy, putting the fast, getting an early ruse out for that black belt, and the hold!
What an absolute legend.
Oh my god. First,
Wow.
Bane on Kraken 1, then hold.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
What an amazing run. 10 hits to 1253.
Oh.
Wow.
Getting the hold, locking up Kraken. What now? And then 1200 damage.
That was awesome.
Oh man.
Oh. Okay.
Wow.
Wow. That was amazing. And we're pretty much already here on this tier 2 fight. We'll see how this one goes. Hold again. You did it once, you got to do it again. Hold from the fighter, fast coming out from the black mage, temper on the black belt. Rojo with the hold, ineffective this time, not getting the 2 in the row. Hits for 495, not getting the turn order with the fast cast. The ice 3 doing damage, but all of his light warriors still up, moving over to tempers on both of the black mages at this point in a quad X. The punch going to the fighter is not going to do it. The quad X not going to do it. 14 hits for over 800 damage, 4 for 29, not very. Should be able to take out Tia 2 after this particular swing. Putting some heal pots on that black mage, hoping to get it standing for the chaos fight. The fighter taking the punch with only 32 HP left, but the black belt saying no. 14 hits, 875 damage, 4 light warriors up, heading down, or prepping for the walk down to chaos. So yeah, Luffy, are you planning on any different strategies next week, or are you essentially going to say, I'm going to play my game, and I'm going to try to play my game as tight as I can?
I think we'll see. We haven't really discussed any kind of changes to the flags yet, and after Darren, nice victory lap, love it.
Victory lap.
Yes.
After Darren takes chaos, we can maybe talk a little bit more about it. I want to give him the respect here, but we haven't really decided on what we're gonna do yet, so we're gonna see.
All right, chaos. It's gonna fast, probably saber and temper. Nope, no more temper. Lock 2.
He's going for it.
Swing. Ooh, big damage by the fighter. And not so much by the black belt. And poison damage. Of course. Lock 2 comes out and fast. There we go. First turn done. Gonna fight. Gonna temper. Punch. And nuke. Slow 2 comes out. Hits the black mage. That's good. So, bunch of hit for 500 damage. Nuke comes out. Mid damage, tempers, and swing. Not a lot of damage. Oh, cheeky Bane. Love to see it. Punch, 630 damage. Lightning 2 kills one of the black mages, almost the other one. Bane's comes out, ineffective. Got punch, and Bane. swing, 2 for 16, 14 for 912 damage, big punch by Chaos. Banes comes out, ineffective again. Alright, punch, ice 3, swing for 85 damage, not too bad. Ice 3 comes out, 69 damage, nice, and it hits for 380 something. Chaos is down, get your GGs in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Get your GGs out for Darren on a tough break in Topher, and I think we have Darren.
Yep.
GGs, Darren Grace.
Thanks. That was a lot of fun.
Hey, we gotta ask that first Topher dive.
Oh, it was so much fun, and I was so nerve-wracking because I kept looking over going, how is Luffy not done yet? Like, I knew that I went low on my black belt grind, but I had a ribbon and I had gold +3 bracelets, so I was gonna try and make it with that, but that Kraken 2 is brutal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely got the, like, we were talking about it, because you did get into Topher 2.5 minutes before Luffy was able to. And really, it came down to that black belt grind. What was your kind of thinking behind when to stop with that black belt grind?
I wanted to see 8 hits, and I knew that we had the plus 15%. And I was over. I knew I was going to be over 400 health, so I'd be out of nuke range. But I mean, it's hard to get out of Kraken punch range anytime.
Yeah. We were figuring, like, in just kind of looking through the strategy of the day, you found that Agama, dedicated to the grind. You and Luffy made pretty much the same decisions going through, and really the only difference was that extra little bit of time on the grind. But it seemed like you had made the decision, I know I'm going to go a little bit low. I have the extra hit percent. I have an extra fighter in my party. I have these facts. I need to get a win out of this, and so I'm going to take the risk of going a little bit lower. And I think it was a very good strategy to take the chance, and it just didn't end up working out for you in Topher.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kraken just did Kraken things.
Yeah, I mean, even from the draft, because I had the last pick, and it was, do we take a second fighter and be really cheeky? Do we take a red mage and go for the safety play, or do we just go for speed and power? And I said, well, let's go for speed and power, and we'll just let it fly.
Mm-hmm.
Which I approve.
And yeah, well, and this was a speedy seed. You got, I want to say you got the second loose item at like 3 minutes, maybe. So what was going through your mind when you pulled the second loose out of the dwarf cave?
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. And I had only marked off that I found one loose. So the whole time I was going, oh man, I just gotta follow incentives and hope that this loose isn't out there. Because it was the saber, what was the other for the first loose?
The ship in Toph.
Yeah, I think that came so early that I just didn't even think about it or mark it off on my sheet. So I'm really glad that I had followed the incentives and not done a full clear of Volcano.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because we were wondering why you were opening so many boxes early on.
Yep, that would be why, because I didn't realize that I had both.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we were thinking you were, maybe going for a fighter play instead of grinding the black belt. So that, and when you found the Agama time, like, yeah, we're not doing fighter comms, we're switching to black belt.
I think I may have gotten those early, like, key boxes and a bunch of the early stuff just to see, because if you can do a fighter, that would have been a really fun party to do as a fighter comp, but yeah, it was because I completely spaced on the ship being loose.
Well, and, it ended up working in your favor. It didn't seem like either of you were set on that fighter comp early, but neither of you saw the tail. It it wasn't even remotely a possibility. So really, that black belt was the best and fastest choice for this one. Shanigan, did you have any questions? I know we have a couple other races going on tonight, so I want to make sure that we get out to those other races.
No, I don't think so. You pretty much covered everything, everything I had. Yeah, for real, this was a really good race for both of you. It's unfortunate that Kraken 2 said no, that darindrise. You played really, really well, and I really, really liked when you stopped grinding and like, yep, 8 hits is fine. I have fast, I have temper, I have Roostic and the Saber Bonk. I'm like, yep, I can beat pretty much everything. I really like that play, but yeah, Kraken 2 got a Kraken 2, unfortunately.
Yeah. So let's oh, sorry, Darren. You can respond to that. It's fine.
Oh yeah, that was crazy, and that hold on Kraken 2 was amazing.
Oh yes,
Legend.
The Bane on Kraken 1, then the hold stick on Kraken 2, like chef's kiss. That was really good.
I tried it again on Tia 2, and as soon as it missed, I went, okay, the world is normal again. We can go back to regular life.
Well, and the Bane's going out on Chaos, the victory lap, just eating it up, man. Mad respect.
At that point, getting past Kraken 2 was victory for me. I didn't care anymore.
Definitely makes sense. So let's move on to final, and then we'll move out. So let's start with you, Luffy. Final thoughts for us.
This was a heck of a race. I'm excited to watch it back. It looks like Darren, like you guys said, had a little bit of a lead. So I definitely want to see how he routed this, because the seed kind of really just handed us what we wanted when we found the first 2 loose items early, and it was an honor to race Darren. I know he's been around quite a long time, so I'd never raced him before, so this was great. So thank you for that. Definitely thank you also to DVS Chanigan for doing the comms, and Rojo for tracking, and the Final Fantasy Randomizer channel for hosting us. This was a lot of fun. Spring tournament is really a good time, so I'm looking forward to my next match with Crab Cakes, and I'm scared to death to say
that. Darren, final thoughts.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I hate jet seeds, and that was when you find the floater that early, I would consider it a jet seed. So, always just ups the nervous factor by 10 times. But that was tons of fun. I've got a ton of respect for Luffy, and so it was like he said. I don't know that we've ever raced head to head, so it was exciting to be able to do that. I love this pod. Good luck against Crab Cakes. It is a treat, and you learn a whole lot about how to play the game when you can watch yourself running against Crab Cakes side by side.
I'll bet. I'm excited and scared.
Awesome. So we have. Oh, I just had it open. So what we have right now, after this match, we have Hit the 13th versus Dark Tide 907. Should have just wrapped up over on Speed Gaming 3. On RPG Limit Break, we have Demon Frog versus Bork, which should be about 3/4 of the way through. And then on this channel, around 10:40 tonight, we have Shadow Mr. T versus IB Karma. So if you're still looking for some Final Fantasy action, you can check RPG Limit Break after this broadcast is over, and then come back to this channel at 10:40 and pick up with Shadow Mr. T, a brand new runner to the community, and IB Karma, who's been around for a little while. Shanigan, why don't you take us out, and then we'll call it a night for you and me here on the Final Fantasy Randomizer channel.
Yes, again, thank you, DVS, for co-commentating with me. That was one heck of a race. Thank you, Rojo, for tracking and taking all these notes for us. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you for talking with us. And yeah, so like DVS said, few races. We still have a few races tonight, so yeah. Thank you and have a good night.
Have a good night, y'all.